So Rennie, what's your favorite P&S product?
Bead maker.
Bead maker.
Bead maker. Well,
Yes.
look at the colors.
I know.
Indication.
Orange, yeah, for sure. Hey, one of the reasons we wanted to get together and film this video was just to give some clear instructions on how to properly apply Bead Maker, because we get so many questions on Bead Maker.
We do.
You know, can I put it on PPF? Can it go on matte finish? Can it, can I put it over wax? Should I wax first? Can I put it on top of coating? I mean, it's the number one question asked.
Absolutely.
And also, a lot of people make a lot of mistakes because there's a lot of misinformation about Bead Maker and how to apply it. But it just doesn't apply to Bead Maker. It applies to any, type of paint protectant spray, quick detailer that you're trying to apply to a paint. There's just a lot of variables associated with that, so it can be a challenge. As professionals, what we don't realize is we just kind of naturally adjust our technique based on the environment that we're in, is because we have so much accumulated street smarts,
Right.
going
Yeah.
different to events, and so we just kind of naturally know what to do. But the average enthusiast or say new professional doesn't know that. So they constantly make, simple little mistakes that, basically change the success or failure of the product.
Well, I think to help us out is so we've got two shop owners, professional
Yeah.
detailers. So Kyle and Sydney will jump in here with us. But the complexity of products has changed a lot, and so it's not like it was just a few years ago where you apply something or you spray something on and you don't have to worry about it. Is these products, the way that they adhere to the surface, the way they interact with the surface, and then most importantly, the way they interact with other products. Sometimes they don't play too well in the same playground.
Right.
And so we're going to take and kind of talk about that as we're working on this. So before we jump in, I'm a car guy. So I'm going to talk about this. This is a friend of ours. This is a family car. This is original owners. He decided to do a body off restoration to it. It took him a long time. But you can see the color. We love it. It's actually got inspiration coating on it. Kyle did the work, the paint correction, and coated it 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
So with that, a lot of people think that, probably one of the things I hear all the time is, hey, is Bead Maker just for coated cars?
Right.
And so what's the answer, guys? No.
No.
Is a lot of times we're using this as a wash, clay, and sealant as professionals. When somebody doesn't want to step up and spend a lot of money for paint correction and so forth, you can use it without having a coating on a vehicle. So that's one of the misconceptions out there, is that Bead Maker or products like it are just for something that's been coated.
Yeah.
Right along with that is that will this product either hurt or enhance a coating? And the answer is really simple. Is we've got a really good Michael Hill is a physicist. He's not your average car guy. And he's done a lot of field testing on this product. And some of the results that we heard back from actual testing, laboratory age testing, was pretty dynamic on a wide range of coating manufacturers.
Right.
And what it does to that. So it's going to really adhere and help your coatings last longer, but the car doesn't have to be coated.
Right. Yeah. So why don't we just start with let's just go through basic Bead Maker application,
Right.
given the environment that we're in,
Yeah.
right? Because that's one of the things that is a challenge. Because this car has been in your shop. This is a temperature controlled environment.
Right.
This is about as perfect of conditions that
Right,
we can
yeah,
apply Bead Maker on,
absolutely.
right? So let's just go through how we apply it on here, and then we'll start throwing curves at you and go, okay, what do we do
Yeah.
when this happens, right?
Well, there's a couple different ways. The way I do it is when you're working in, I've got my Chevelle behind us, is I'm working on this. I'll come out some nights, stress reliever, I'll rubber down. And a lot of people will spray from here, and they're overspraying the whole car. So when I'm working from here, what I do is I want to make sure my trigger's ready to go. And I come backwards, so I'm going to spray. So as I spray it on, now that's a light mist. If you've got it coated and Bead Maker's on the car, that's really all you need. You don't need more than that. But if you want a little more pop and a little more protection, I'll actually put it on a little thicker to where it starts beating up a little bit. And I'll put it on here. Now, this is a dry towel right now, but as the towel gets moist, the other thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to do long strokes. So I'm going to come through. You don't want to stop midway on the car, because I'm going to come all the way through, and you can see how I'm going the entire distance. And so what I mean by this is you don't want to do little scrubby marks on here, meaning that you don't want to put it on like this. Is I'm doing nice long strokes on it, And what that's going to do is it's create smoothness. You're not going to put towel marking in it, and it's just going to finish down better. So you'll come over here. I'm just going to get a dry spot right there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to spray this direction. That way I'm not overspraying this side. So I'll come through, and again, if you want to, just a light mist. This car's already got bead maker. It's got coating on it. You don't need to put it on thick, but if you really want it to pop, put it on a little thicker. You guys want to hit that real quick for us?
So, Randy, while they're doing that, one of the things that I know that I do is, you know, it's great if we're just doing a small section with one towel.
Right.
But you know that your primary towel can get damp
Yeah.
with bead maker. So then then you start to pull in the 2-towel method, correct?
Correct.
So
That's
your
it.
primary towel becomes your initial wipe down towel, and then your secondary towel is kind of leveling it out.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you mentioned about when you spray bead maker, if you get overspray on another side of the car and it sits there, remember bead maker has a curable component in there. So it's not magically going to cure right there, but over 2, 3, 4 hours, that little spot, that smudge gets harder to remove. So you want to make sure that you stay on top of that extra overspray.
Absolutely.
Right? And that goes with any paint protectant, not just
Absolutely.
bead maker.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect environment.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just take this car. Let's put it outside in the sun.
Yeah.
You're a mobile detailer, or we're at a car show.
Yeah.
How do we change our technique for this type of product at a car show?
We're gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and dampen this towel. It's already damp because I wiped it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get the towel nice and damp. So I'm gonna spray quite a bit. You can also use a dunk technique where you actually put a small Tupperware container, clean Tupperware container filled with bead maker, dunk the towel in there and really get it damp. And I'm just gonna take a nice dry towel. And again, I'm gonna break my own rule of short strokes. Is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna wipe a section. And as I wipe, I'm gonna take my dry towel right over it.
Because why, Randy? Because if you're doing a bigger area and you take this towel and you wipe it all and it's really hot, you come back, you wipe here and you don't wipe there. And then when you go back there, that is difficult or stubborn to remove.
Absolutely.
Because the heat has caused it to start to cure.
That's
Right?
exactly it.
Yeah.
Naturally, if you can, try to get into a shade.
So naturally
You know?
what happens when we're at car shows, we know that as an experienced detailer, we may start with a little bigger area and we go, uh-oh, that's not working. So as a professional or enthusiast, you just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
What you do one day isn't the same, and you could do it on one car and you could say, well, that had a new finish and the other car had a new finish. Let's talk about paint variables, right? I mean, bead maker connects to different types of paints differently.
Yeah,
It
it's-
does.
Even a clayed car compared to an unclayed car.
Right.
So if you've got a smooth surface that it's going to go down there and grab onto it, where if you have a lot of contaminants still left in the car, it's not going to hold on. It's actually going to hold on to contaminants, which a lot of times can even during a wash break loose, and the bead maker goes with it. And so it's going to adhere to what's on the car. If you don't have anything on the car, it's going to paint and it's not going to just come off.
So that deals with the temperature, but that technique also works in high humidity environments, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that's where we have to adjust as well. And a technique that we'll actually use at a car show, if the car's out in the sun, say for some reason it's just too hot, we'll actually take what? A bucket of water,
Cool it down.
with a microfiber towel, and we'll cool that car down. Or we'll take something like paint gloss, and we'll use that to cool the car down. You may actually have to cool the surface.
We could actually take, because we work on a lot of big vehicles, right? And the Marine One, the helicopter, is dark green paint. Temperature is 165 degrees on the surface. And by just putting I don't like to use just plain water because I want something that's going to sheet a little bit.
Okay.
So by putting a paint gloss on it,
Yep.
or even wetting the surface down and then using bead maker as a drying agent over it,
Sure.
but really soaking the surface, we could take it from 160 plus degrees down to 85 degrees in under 30 seconds. And so you've got to get that surface.
Yeah.
The worst thing you could do is work on hot paint out in the sun.
So we worked on, the ideal environment. We got that technique. We got the heat. We got humidity. Now let's talk about the variability of, surfaces. People say, well, can I use it on PPF?
Right. Absolutely.
Can I use it on matte finishes?
Absolutely.
What happens if I get it on the glass?
Absolutely.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
all those things are yes. I can't. I don't. It works amazingly well on PPF. There's actually no real difference, right? I mean, you guys have never said, "Wow, it didn't react like I wanted to on PPF." What about matte?
Oh, it's great on matte. I have a matte
Matte
head.
paint?
Yeah.
Not just matte wrap.
Yeah, I've used it on a matte motorcycle before. It's
Yeah.
great.
And
Yeah.
Harleys, the new matte finishes and the BMWs, and those aren't just matte like black. Those come in like greens and silvers that are matte
Right.
too, that you can't like fix a scratch on.
So what does Bead Maker
So-
do to matte paint?
It protects it. It gives it that ease of cleaning. It like fills in those pores, and it gives it a nice glow. I
It
wouldn't
gives it
say-
a little
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
Right?
yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
make it shiny, but it makes it glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it crisps the color. You know.
Crisp
You
the
can
color.
even use it
color.
on
Yeah.
vinyl tops,
Yep.
Right.
like this.
Yeah. Glass.
Oh man.
No problem.
Let
We
me
love
let
it
me,
on glass.
let me tell you, we own two. We have a Subaru and we have a Porsche, and both brands are known for outgassing inside the car to get that fog
Yeah.
on the windshield. Is that we use Bead Maker? We actually clean the glass and then come back and put it onto a towel, wipe a section of it, half the windshield, and then come back over with a dry orange towel. Wow. It slows down that fogging effect
Yep.
tremendously. Same with your fingers on touchscreens on the cars, is that we never spray it on the touchscreens, obviously, but we'll dampen it down, go over with a light, and my fingers, it takes me probably 7 to 10 days before my fingers start smudging it again.
The oils of your hands just can't.
Yeah, it
get
just
on
doesn't
Get
go
past
through
it.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it really is, on chrome, if you're working on a beautiful classic car like this, it's the only thing that we don't put it on is the rubber tires.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really,
Yeah.
everything else has got it on there.
So we've got paint, condition of paint. What about oxidized paint? What happens if you spray it on oxidized paint?
I've seen it before, but it just doesn't allow it to bond.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
when he said it's oxidation is a contaminant. So it's just not going to adhere to that unless
Yeah.
it's a nice, smooth, flat substrate.
Right. So I mean,
Gotta
Kyle,
polish it.
you're RV specialist, right? I mean, that's one of your
Yeah.
key customer. So how do you use Bead Maker on, say, a motor coach that's in good condition versus a motor coach that's, say, oxidized?
So a painted RV, just like we did here, it's a little different because the scale is so much larger. So we have to adapt for that and maybe use multiple ladders to keep it blending it in. And it's really nice. It makes it glow on the vinyl, on all the trim, the plastics, and the windows. It's really easy because I don't have to come back and clean the windows.
Boat?
Done. Boat too. But the same thing. If it's oxidized,
Right.
there's a barrier that's not going to allow the cross linkers or what's in Bead Maker to bond.
Right.
So, like on a toy hauler with this new gray and tan, I've had some before where we did one side with Bead Maker, beautiful, pops, glows, the vinyl looks great, but the front cap, it's oxidized, or the other side,
Right, because it was
it's
exposed
dull.
to the sun.
So we have to polish it.
Right.
We got to restore that finish. Then we can top it with Bead Maker.
Yeah.
But when they get to that restoration, where it's 10 years of oxidation,
Yeah.
man,
Bead Maker's not going to do
it's not going to do
it.
anything.
Waste
to
of
it.
time.
And a lot of people don't realize this, that is, my forte for most of my career was aircraft. And I just started flying again. And so we come back from a flight, we spray the plane down, and it's Boeing spec, which
Approved.
is really cool.
Bead Maker's
Yeah.
Boeing spec.
So,
Approved, so you can use it on planes.
so we use it on planes, but we use it on the prop, the backside of the prop where it grabs everything. We use it on the belly, and literally to clean the belly and everything else, to get the bugs off. We can use it on the windscreen, and we can use it 100% on the airplane. Just, you got to be careful of where to put it and where not, where to spray it, static ports and so forth. But it's unbelievable. But again, on aircraft paint for the most part is not going to be this high quality. So it's going to have a little rougher finish. So the longevity is not going to be quite there. But it's a real affordable product to spray more on. It's
Right.
just it's not super expensive. And so that's the beauty of it.
So we've covered the surfaces pretty much. Are there any surfaces that we didn't cover that we applied?
Wheels.
Interior.
Yeah, interiors.
Yeah, okay.
And wheels.
And wheels.
Yes.
Rims.
Yep.
Sure.
So I do my final wipe down of wheels with it. It gets all any extra tire dressing that you got on there, it gets that cleaned off. But I see a lot of cars over and over, and so what I notice if I finish them with Bead Maker, when the car comes back, the wheels are so much easier to clean.
Right.
So much easier.
Right.
So
Here's a little trick that I use. I drive my cars really hard. Chris loves
Never
going
noticed.
to yeah.
No.
Chris loves going to Vegas with me.
The inside of the
I
tires are
never, I never break the speed limit.
Never.
on camera.
Never. But you know, it's
And his guns are at the bottom of the lake, by the way. Go ahead.
It might, yeah. That's a whole other story. But you know, when we give the engine compartment a bath, before I put any type of dressing on the engine, I spray it down with Bead Maker. And my engine now, to clean my engines, literally hose it off and spray a little more Bead Maker on it. It's done. It's over.
Interesting.
Drying engine. Matt Mormon is
Yeah, drying
crazy
engine, yeah.
over this product. Matter of fact, my own, our own product. Matt got me hooked on using Bead Maker's drying agent, which means that when the car's wet and you're drying it, spray it over there. And God, man, the towel just glides over the top of it.
So we're going to get to Sydney's secret technique. I see she's got the bottle out already. She's like, I'm going to pull up my secret weapon. Not yet. Because, okay, we talked about surfaces. We talked about temperature. One of the things we didn't talk about, we talked about high temperature. What about cold?
Oh.
Right? That's another very, so
Yeah.
that's a huge question. People go, so can I apply it at 35 degrees? I'm like, well, not really. Right? So what do you
Nothing.
think, what's your guys' opinion on the coldest temperature that we can apply BB?
I've done it in the 40s with great luck.
yeah.
Once it goes below 45,
Well, and the difference too is, has the car been outside?
Right.
You
Is it
know,
cold?
Is the
So the-
steel really cold?
Right.
I mean, if the car's been driven, you know, and so primarily the issues we have are the hood, right? So I mean, if you warm the car up for a few minutes, you're gonna have a much better
Oh, that's
use of it.
Good
You know, if
technique.
you're
I
working
wasn't thinking
outside and
about
the
that.
car's been parked all night, you know, warm the engine steel up. That's, I mean, primarily where we have our issues with the
Yeah.
spreading, right? Because it's such a large area. So, you know, warm it up a little bit, but I think it's more the steel temperature
it is.
than necessarily
Absolutely.
the
Air
ambient
temperature.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
it's-
point.
Yeah.
And
My-
cold usually brings moisture. So not
Yeah.
only are you fighting, you know, you're
Right.
using 3 towels now to not
Right.
only a level the bead maker, but you have this moisture, that dew that is starting to accumulate. So you're like, is that bead maker or is that just because it's 37 degrees outside?
And it's, accumulating,
Exactly.
moisture.
You should get that moisture, you get the streaks that come with it.
Exactly, where you're fighting it.
Yeah, so in that case too, I would switch to a lower pile towel.
Right.
So that when you're spreading it across the surface, you're not leaving as much, because then it's gonna have the tendency to freeze, and I would still do the spray ahead.
So you brought up the last variable, right? Because, I mean, we all these surfaces we work on, condition of paint, boats, RVs, and then the weather. Towels.
Yeah.
Okay, towels play a major role
Huge.
in the
Yeah.
success or failure of the product.
Yep.
It could be as simple as you're using the same towel, and you keep using the same towel, and guess what? Bead Maker cures on that towel.
Yes.
And now you're using that towel, and you're like, it's not
pick it
working
up.
Spreading
Yeah.
because
around.
it changed
Yeah,
the towel. So how do we handle that?
Soak them.
soak them.
When you get done using your bead maker, take these towels. You're going to wash them anyway. I'm just going to throw them in the washer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use, I'll tell you something new soon enough that we're going to be using. Find something that's microfiber safe to wash
Detergent,
with.
yeah.
Detergent. We actually put them in the dryer on low heat, tumble dry.
Yeah.
But before we do, we put them in plain water. I put them in plain water
Yeah.
and soak them overnight.
Yeah.
Just soak them overnight.
And so for the average, customer, they don't have access to, like, as professional detailers,
Yeah.
we have access to a lot of towels. But the average consumer doesn't. So they need to figure out how to, maybe it could be
Yeah.
their towel.
Yeah.
It's not always the product. I mean, one of the things is, I know people always point to the product, but the manufacturing process of most manufacturers that makes product, very consistent. They deliver very consistent product.
Yep.
But all the other variables
Yep.
are what create, the huge challenge for applying any product in this category, and Bead Maker especially.
Yeah.
So now, Sydney, let's go to your secret weapon here.
Yeah. So, and this kind of follows up with the towel too. So, if you are in really dry, no moisture in the air, dry areas, we notice that it can accumulate some dust. And that is because of like static electricity charge. And so, when it's so dry, if you're using a high pile towel, you're almost giving it a static charge. And so, again, if you're in a really dry area, try switching to a lower pile towel. The other thing we notice with the dusting issue is that a lot of times it is the curing time. So if you really want to give it a good 2 hours or more, again, depending on your area, I like to leave mine in the garage overnight without driving it. So if you are not able to let a car cure for 2 hours before driving it, I found a great solution. If you need to release a car, it's a personal car. This is great for the DIYer because usually you want to go drive your car as soon as it's clean. So if you take the paint gloss, which is, there's no protection in here. This is just a gloss enhancer, but it has an anti-static property in it. So again, would just spray it on the towel. So after you've put the bead maker on, wait 10, 15 minutes, and then you can go right back over that area with the paint gloss. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna give it a little anti-static barrier. So it's not gonna pick up that dust right away, but it's not going to change the bead maker. It's not gonna change the look, the hydrophobics, anything like that.
And it could actually
So-
help clean up
Yeah.
some of the spots
Yep.
that weren't
Any
light
swipe
threatening,
marks
right?
or anything like that. So that is my favorite thing to do is if I have to release a car, I just go over the whole thing, glass, everything with the paint gloss. So that is my new favorite thing to do, and it really works. So
It
that
does.
has-
She's
yeah.
got me hooked.
Yeah, that
So
has
it-
really
it-
cut down the dusting.
And again, I think, exchanging these tricks, and that's what's nice about having these guys.
Right.
Is having active shops, is you guys are, I'm playing on a very limited number, deep testing.
Yeah.
You guys are depth testing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really going a different direction. So let's talk about with that applying stacking stuff
Right.
and what we've seen come.
Oh, that's one more variable.
Yeah.
Waxes.
Oh,
How
what's
does it play with
underneath
other
it? Yeah.
products,
Wow.
right?
Here's the biggest thing we've seen is we'll get people responding to us. They go, oh my God, I put bead maker on. It's awesome. And then I washed it and it just reacted different. What we figured out over time is that when people are using a wash with wax in it or a sealant in it, is again, those two elements, they're two different chemistries and they don't play real nicely together.
Yeah.
And so when you're just use a natural soap, just a really neutral natural soap. Pearl, we love it. It interacts with this product great. It interacts with coatings great. It cleans great, yet it's gentle, it's thin, it's all the way through the bucket. Probably my most used product in our line that we use. It's in my hands every day. We do so many things with it. But you don't take and need, you got to remember, oh, you want enhancement, you want enhancement, you want enhancement. People's trying to always get it better. Stack stuff, stack likable stuff, meaning bead maker on top of bead maker on top of bead maker is just going to create more and more gloss and durability. If you start stacking wax with bead maker with sealant, you're going to cause a lot of headaches for yourself, and it's none of the product's problems. It's just they just don't play well together.
And some may play great together, right? It's just one more variable in the mix that, a guy can go, hey, bead maker didn't work right. And we can go, well, what did you use? And he may say, well, we used this. And we're like, oh, well, we didn't know that didn't play well together, but I guess they don't.
Yeah.
But, the reality is there's just thousands of variables in this space. So, keep your questions coming.
Absolutely,
right?
love 'em.
We'll keep answering the
love 'em.
questions. But I got to tell you, we wanted to address a lot of this so we could help people get a better experience or improve their experience with bead maker. But the bottom line about bead maker, what makes it cool is just the overall experience on the car,
yeah.
how it makes it feel,
Yep.
how it makes it look. It's not all about the protection,
Yeah.
right? 30, 60 days, sometimes longer, but it's really about the look and feel of the car.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us today. This was
Well, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got bad news for you.
What?
Norman's dad that owns his car said
Yeah.
if we're going to use it in the video, is that part of the whole caveat of that is that you've got to do the Chevelle too when you're done with this one.
Okay.
Okay, sound good?
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Everything Bead Maker.
See ya. That was fun.
Yeah.